Let's shift our attention to Russia. Yesterday, Vladimir Putin launched a gas war. He cut off supplies to Europe. The Nord Stream 1 pipeline was shut. Moscow says it's for maintenance, but Europe is on the tenterhooks. They're not sure if supplies will be restored. Putin, meanwhile, is making fresh moves. He's renewing old friendships. The Russian president is traveling next week. He will be in Iran. The Kremlin announced his plans today.
Indeed, preparations are being made for the Russian president's trip to Tehran. There will be a meeting of heads of state, guarantors of the Astana process, as you know, the process to promote the Syrian settlement. And indeed, there will be a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin, Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi, and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan.
So Tehran will host a trilateral meeting. Turkish President Erdogan will also travel to Iran to take part. In addition to this meeting, this trilateral meeting, Putin will also have bilateral talks. What will these leaders discuss? The conflict in Syria is on the agenda, but Putin will be going there with a longer wish list. The US says Russia wants drones from Iran and that Iran is ready to supply them.
That the Iranian government is preparing to provide Russia with up to several hundred UAVs, including weapons-capable UAVs, on an expedited timeline. Our information further indicates that Iran is preparing to train Russian forces to use these UAVs, with initial training sessions slated to begin as soon as early July.
Russia's war in Ukraine continues to grind on. It is now entering its 5th month. Moscow wants to continue fighting. For that, it needs more supplies. That's where Iran comes in. Iran has a sophisticated defense industry. Iranian drones and missiles have been used in Yemen. Tehran has been accused of arming the Houthi rebels against Saudi Arabia and Yemen. The same weapons struck Riyadh's oil infrastructure in 2019, and now Iranian drones could add to Russia's firepower. What about Turkey? What does Russia want from Turkey? Economic support to start with. On Monday, Putin spoke with Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey. The two leaders discussed grain exports. Russia's war in Ukraine has blocked grain exports from the Black Sea. Now, efforts are underway to resume the supply. Later, Erdogan spoke with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, and they too discussed grain exports. There's a proposal to create what they're calling secure corridors for grain exports. And remember, the Turkish president is still playing mediator in the Ukraine conflict. He's talking to both sides. His support to NATO's expansion has not affected his relationship with Russia. So when Putin visits Tehran next week, Erdogan will be there. The conflict in Ukraine is now a war of attrition. Russia has made no decisive breakthroughs. After more than 4 months of fighting, Russian forces control just about 450 square kilometers of Ukraine. In comparison, the losses for Russia have been severe. There are less Russian troops on the ground. In May, they were down to just 58% of their pre-war strength. Some reports say more than 15,000 Russian troops have died since the war began. Russia's firepower has also reduced considerably. According to one estimate, Russia has lost at least 761 tanks in the battlefield. Now, these are mostly Western reports, so you can discount some of it. But you cannot deny the fact that Russia, too, is suffering losses. So Vladimir Putin is trying to gain strength through other means. One of them is roping in allies. That's part of the plan. Yesterday, the Russian president also made another move. He wants to give Russian citizenship to Ukrainians. The Kremlin issued a decree. It says all citizens of Ukraine have the right to apply for Russian citizenship. Their applications will be fast-tracked. So far, only residents of Donetsk and Luhansk have this option. These are self-proclaimed breakaway territories of Ukraine. The fast track to Russian citizenship was introduced in 2019, and since then, more than 720,000 residents have received Russian passports. Ukraine says this is a violation of its sovereignty. With this decree, Putin wants to strengthen his control over the territory that he holds. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.